What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema.
Mr. James Hsu.com,
and we are here for a remake or retool of Jumanji.
I'm trying to do the drums.
The old movie.
Yes.
Board game.
1996, I believe.
Yeah.
You know, the board game that would suck you into the board game. Now, so many years later, we have a reimagining of that with Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart.
Of all people.
Box office dominators.
Jack Black.
Jack Black, who's kind of been out of the woodwork for a while. A movie that I've, you know, been intrigued by since CinemaCon, but I can't say I had a lot of hope for. Can't say that I was like one of the most anticipated of the year. What about you? Did you feel any particular way?
I haven't even seen the original Jumanji.
Well, I will say, going back and watching the original Jumanji, it's nowhere near as good as you watching it as a child. But being a board game fan and a Robin Williams fan, it still has its moments.
So I never saw that.
Yes.
And then on a scale of 1 through 10 of excitement, 1 being low, obviously, and 10 being pumped up, jacked up, gassed up.
Yes.
Geared up. I'm at a 1.
Yes.
To see this movie.
Wow, that's quite low.
Yeah. Well, you can't. I don't know.
And also knowing that the director of this movie made this sex tape with Cameron Diaz and Jason Segel was a movie that I really did not like. I had a little even lower expectations going in, so I was probably with you.
The only thing that's probably helping this, or is helping this, is
The Rock.
Just
and Kevin Hart.
Potential fear next president of the United States.
Yeah, right, 2024. And you know, I think the two work really well together. I wasn't crazy about Central Intelligence, but I think the one thing you take away from that movie is those two working together are gonna make you money and people are gonna laugh. So, you know. But Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. Hsu, what did you think?
Well, like I said, I went into it with a 1, and
yes.
Well, I watched it last night.
Yes.
And I have to say, what the hell? That movie was so much fun. I couldn't believe it. I literally let the entire right when the movie starts playing.
Yes.
Right when it starts going, I was entertained the entire time. I was smiling, smirking, laughing out loud, literally LOLing the whole movie. The person who stole this movie, though, well, okay, so The Rock was The Rock, meaning awesome.
Yes.
Charismatic. The idea that they go into the video game, I thought was stupid when I saw, no, I shouldn't say stupid, I just wasn't like, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I didn't think anything of it. No, it fits real well. It fits real well in this movie. And then we have, do you know the girl's name?
I don't.
Okay, the girl's name, she was great.
Yes.
And then the, horrible, I don't know any of the people, but the only thing I will say is the person who stole this movie and is just amazing in this movie was Jack friggin' Black, dude. He was so funny playing the girl.
Yes.
And the tropes, and I think this is the first video game movie that was a good video game movie. That's not even a video game, because they
not even based on a real video game.
They had all these things about the video games that we go through that I thought was so clever. The lives, I thought that was clever. When you guys watch it, you'll know what I mean. You have 3 lives to play the game, and wow, I never would have thought that this movie would be like it's. When I make my top 10 list with you, like this might creep up in there.
Wow.
Yeah. You know why? Because this isn't a serious. It's just strictly just a fun movie.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Yes.
There's nothing serious about this movie. It's just that I just had so much fun
Yeah.
in this movie. I'm just sitting there the whole time just thinking, yes, this is what movies are about, you know? And like I was so excited about the snowman and that thing just like
Oh yeah.
And then this movie I was not excited, and I'm just watching it the whole time, loving it, enjoying it, and just like I love it when the girl's like, why am I wearing this?
Yes.
You know, because that's a video game.
Yes.
You know, because like you would never Lara Croft would never wear that if she was a real
person actually out there
doing this thing. You know, and so they do all these little things.
Called out the tropes and
loved it. Yeah.
Surprisingly,
Jumanji, watch it.
I agree with you for the most part. I walked in this movie, you know, expecting I would like it, at least to a degree, because of The Rock and Kevin Hart. And lo and behold, he was not the thing I'm going to be talking about. I also think I'll be talking about Jack Black.
Someone who's so funny.
Yeah, he was really funny. And it's even, what's even kind of surprising about that is that he plays this real stereotype. Something we've seen over and over again.
Girl.
Like, oh, this is a man's idea of like what a high school girl thinks like. And granted, they paint her to be like the real girl because they take on these forms. Is very like stereotypical millennial girl, popular school girl. But Jack Black is just so funny and so charismatic that he just makes it work in a very great way. The Rock is great, obviously. I always enjoy seeing The Rock play a role where he's not confident and he's not who he is, and while the character takes over sometimes and he gives the smoldering intensity.
Oh yeah, that's so funny.
It's great to see him kind of crumble and be afraid and like tell himself not to cry, and all these things that you've seen in the trailer for the most part still really work well in the movie. You know, I think my whole thing was just kind of wondering how the allure was going to be of how we get into a video game, things like that, Jumanji being a board game. And they don't really explain that, and it's not really necessary. But the idea, I just took it and run with it. I think that it was very fun, it was a great idea, and granted, I don't think we needed necessarily the Jumanji movie to be or like the Jumanji property to be the thing that made this movie good, right? I think it could not be about Jumanji, it could be called Welcome to the Jungle, and it would be just as funny, because you know, all the threatening things came at them one at a time with turns and things like that. There were so many elements of like how the board game would work, where the video game, it's just they're in this video game and they gotta finish the mission. It's pretty much just that, and I think it would have worked either way, but it didn't bother me any that it was. Nick Jonas, who's also in this movie.
Oh yeah. I didn't even know he was in the movie.
Yeah. You didn't know?
No, I didn't know that. And then when I saw the credit, I was like, oh.
Yeah. He was good too. I mean, everyone was really good in this movie. Everyone was really funny. You know, I think the action is fun. I don't think you ask too many questions, like you said. It's definitely popcorn.
The fighting, dancing.
Yes.
Whatever.
Oh man, I enjoyed the hell out of that. I believe UB40's Red Red Wine was like the heart of this movie, because every time it came on, it would mean one of the characters would dance fight. And then, of course, there's the silly nonsense that, of course, Kevin Hart has to be adjusted to, of having a weakness of cake. And the weakness, one of his weaknesses in the movie is strength. And there's like this whole conversation about
and he's slow. He
strength,
can't run.
Yes, but like how strength could be a weakness. I just love this kind of silly idea. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I honestly think that like for a video game movie, this movie really, really works. You know, it has all these tropes. The character has 3 lives to beat the game. They have the weaknesses, they have their strengths, they have their special abilities. And I mean, for what it's worth, I just think it's a movie where you could go on and laugh. I think it's good family fun. I don't think there's anything overly inappropriate about it.
The penis jokes, dude, are so funny too.
Yeah.
And I normally don't like that stuff, because I'm like, oh, here we go again. That was funny.
No, it was. And Jack Black doing it, I was so shocked, because I really was just thinking, I'm gonna like Kevin Hart and The Rock just having their banter, but there's so much more to enjoy here. But if you are like a diehard Jumanji fan, which granted I know people like Jumanji, but I don't see any like diehards, I don't think this is like the greatest thing that could have happened for Jumanji. I don't think it's this, you know, revolutionary sequel. But I do think it's a really good time, and if you're a fan of those actors, I think you're gonna enjoy yourself.
Agreed. So yeah, watch Jumanji.
There it is.
And seriously, like this, because you have Christmas is coming up, you know.
Yes.
So Merry Christmas to everybody.
You want to be with your family and watch something fun and
definitely
exciting.
watch Star Wars.
Yes,
Star Wars.
Wars.
Definitely do yourself that favor.
Watch
definitely
Greatest
do
Showman.
yourself a favor. Watch Greatest Showman.
Yes.
And then now I can't believe I'm saying
watch Jumanji
on Friday, Saturday, and now Sunday. Watch Jumanji, because it's so entertaining. It's
an all-packed week for sure. We reviewed The Greatest Showman. Click that white eye right above Shu's head. But yeah, I mean, well, I can't. I'm just as shocked as you are watching that movie. It's fun. It's fun. I liked it better than Central Intelligence. I think, you know.
Yeah, it was. No.
Not having this overcomplicated spy nonsense and just being this very simple, like just accept it, just go with it, and it's very, very rewarding. So I'm all over it.
Yeah, I can see them definitely doing a part 2.
Absolutely.
That like this movie will make money, and then they're gonna greenlight a sequel, and I'm gonna be jacked up on the freaking tattoo on the forehead.
I'm waiting on the Jumanji video game, because as what happened with 1996, of course they had to make a Jumanji board game, which actually just got re-released. It was like out of print. I was out of print forever, and like it was like going for like $200.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I had it as a kid, and I've been like hunting it down, and they just re-released it for the holidays. I'm sure it has nothing to do with this movie. You know, I'm sure that's the idea, right? So I'm sure we'll get a Jumanji video game, or at least a mobile game, because it's more like Nintendo-ish.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm all for it.
Love it all. So Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yes, Happy Holidays.
We appreciate everyone who supported us this year.
Yes, thank you guys.
Of course, one of
Wong.
our biggest fans, Mr. Kent Wong.
Yes, taking the time to film all these every year, we appreciate it.
Yes, and then we also get to put him through the torture of the top 10.
Yes, the top 10, which will be January 1st, they'll be releasing it, so we'll be filming it sometime next week. With that, we'll be having a lot of other reviews.
Shape of Water is already available to watch.
Shape of the Water, we have a lot of movies that are coming out in early January and after Christmas, so make sure to just keep watching, because though this is our last movie of the year, there will be many, many more reviews coming out in the next couple weeks. that is from 2017 that we've already shot. So I hope you tune in for that. And thank you for watching. Mr. Hsu, Mr. Wong, it's always a pleasure. I had another great year watching movies with you guys. And happy holidays.
ChasingCinema.com is known as
the Film Lovers website.